this is Anna, the Soul Embrace Tarot, and this is a reading that has been requested quite a few times, and I've been avoiding it. I'm not gonna lie. I've been avoiding it because I had no idea who these people were, and I knew that I would have to look them up to at least familiarize myself with their faces so that I can visualize them and pick up the energy a little bit better. I need to know at least something, right? So I'm not the demographic for this generation of actors. I have zero interest in watching them. No offense, but I'm older. So, I have other interests. And anyway, they seem lovely. They seem like lovely individuals. I watched a couple of interviews just so I can get a feel for their voices, how they move. I like being able to visualize the whole person when I'm doing my reading. I see them in front of me, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. So yeah, Kit Connor and Joe Locke. Very requested, actually, reading. So the way I'm gonna do, and I understand why, I get it, but so what I'm going to do is just look at the dynamic between them, not necessarily them as individuals, but I'm asking Spirit to give us an idea of their real life dynamic, and then we can clarify maybe a little bit, and hopefully that helps. If something that is inaccurate comes through, please feel free to put it in the comments. I know that there's people who are extremely knowledgeable about them who may be in the category of maybe obsessed or maybe called fandom, whatever, right? These categories I'm familiar with because of Luke Newton and Nicola Coughlan. So I know that there's other niche fandoms out there. So let's see, Spirit. I'm going to do one more. Kit Connor and Joe Locke. I want to look at the dynamic between them, Spirit, in their behind the scenes dynamic, okay? Just the energy between them. Okay. Oh. They're very and I did see that in the interviews. They have a great familiarity between them. They've experienced I did notice the show that they're on Netflix. Now I forget the name of it, of course. I want to say Heartbreaker. I don't know. Sorry. But, they've done some sexy scenes together, from what I gather. At least a kissing scene. I don't know if they've done anything else. They probably have. So there's part of that there, but with the Six of Cups, it's very heart-centered. They care about each other very much, but there's an innocence about them. There's probably like they're just very comfortable together. They're very comfortable. They feel very, very. They're carefree with each other, right? Which is pretty amazing. Really beautiful. They have a beautiful energy together. They balance each other out. They're very patient with each other. There's a lot of self-control. We'll tap in. I want to explore that a little bit more. That's I picked this up just from looking at a couple of interviews. So we'll explore that. I'm seeing a lot of cup action. So there's a lot of emotional attachment here with them. They're very connected, energetically speaking. There's some type of emotional vulnerability. I believe it's on the side of Locke. I don't know why, but I leaned that way when I looked at the couple of interviews that I found. I just saw the first two that I found. Wasn't going to explore further. There's some type of envy involved. I will take a look at that, but I'm getting envy. There's some emotional vulnerability, and I'm feeling that it's from Locke. I feel like it has a little bit of a younger energy. I don't know. They may be the same age, but Kit feels like a more mature energy. Joe feels like a more youthful, younger energy, if that makes sense. I'm going to leave 3 cards, Spirit. Okay. So, okay. We'll set that aside. We'll set this aside for a second. Let's look at their beautiful, because they do have a beautiful energy between them. Wait. Let's look at this first. I have a limited amount of decks here with me because I didn't want to overwhelm myself. Because I love getting into every deck. If I have 10 decks, I want to use them all. Because they all want to talk, usually. Not always, but I like giving them a chance to have their little say. They're like little personalities. And you have to allow them to speak. Because they each have their own... I mean, it could be 10 tarot decks or 10 oracle cards. But if they're... decks, sorry. But if they're 10 tarot decks, they will still speak differently. So... Spirit, tell me more about this really lovely connection that they have. Oh. Yeah, way. Oh. They have a strong bond. I know this is what many people are probably hoping, that they are a couple in real life. Let's put it out there. I'm sure that that's what many people want. At least the people that are requesting this reading probably want them to be a couple in real life. I didn't pick up on that as I was watching their interview. I didn't pick up on them being a couple, or even that being a potential, there being a potential for that. I mean, what do I know? Remember, I may get a different audience that maybe hasn't watched me before with this reading. There is free will. We all have free will. Well, if you don't know what that means, it helps to look things up, words up that you don't know what they mean. But it's the concept of that the universe, divine source, God, our creator, we've been given free will, which is the act of being able to make our own decision, despite what the clues and the signs that life is putting in your path may be guiding you to go in one direction. You may decide, no, even though everything seems like I should really go this way, because I want to, am going to go this way. And so by making that choice, you shift the path of your life for a while, and then it shifts back and you make other decisions. So that's your free will, right? Anything that I say here, I'm just reading current energy. I'm also, of course, introducing The fact that I saw interviews, that affects the energy as well, because I'm using also my intuition aside from what the guidance of the cards and spirit that's guiding me through the reading. I keep that in mind. This isn't, what I'm saying here isn't like, oh, this is absolute truth. And even if I told you, oh yeah, this is going to happen, then this is going to happen, they can each, as individuals, decide to do other things. We've seen this with the Nicola and Luke readings, etc. You know, human beings, you think of your own life, how the decisions you make and how it affects the path that you're on. Okay? All right. I just wanted to explain that. It's a blessing that they have come together in whatever capacity as work collaborators in their careers. It's a blessing that they've come together. I feel that it may have been, you know, it's sort of like a thing that they were sort of destined to come together because they're energetically very bonded. I feel that was before they might have even met. They were sort of destined to come together, maybe part of their soul tribe. You know, because this Six of Cups is very there's nostalgia there, and I don't know how long they've known each other. I didn't check any of that information, but it feels like their souls have known each other for a long time. They're very comfortable with each other. And it's not just about the 3D working together. This feels soul energy, okay? There's they know how to cooperate with each other. It's a beautiful balance. And they have an alliance with each other. So explain this to me, because I know that triggers people. That triggered people. So tell me about that. Hey. Kit, to me, feels like, again, he's a more mature energy, is how I pick it up. He's a more mature energy, and I feel that Joe needs more guidance from Kit. Joe feels like a little bit more vulnerable, emotionally speaking, and Kit is more of a dominant, very practical person. He has what it takes to fix something, not fix someone, to help someone, to fix something for them. He focuses on the task at hand. He's very prepared. He's got all the equipment, you know, emotionally speaking. He may be very emotionally grounded, right? Whereas Joe feels very more, I mean, I'm not saying that he needs fixing. I'm not saying that Joe needs fixing, but he has a little bit of a vulnerability that I'm sensing. So Kit is an ally with him in that if Joe needs him for advice, for just brainstorming, talking things through, that Kit is a valuable resource for him to be able to air out that kind of stuff and work things out for himself. Joe, right? With Kit being there as a sounding board, as a foundation. Kit almost feels like a foundation for Joe. Tell me a little bit more. Because Spirit, that's a controversial card. You know what I mean? I mean, it's the lovers, and what I was drawn to was the ally. But, you know, and the bond. They're very bonded. Very strong bond. And now we have the wheel of karma. I feel that there will be, if there hasn't been already, something that happens that causes a rift or a problem between them. Where one will have to seek forgiveness from the other. Tell me more. Because I feel like one has better opportunity to advance. Speaking of career, one may have better opportunity to advance than the other, and that may create a resentment. My gosh, they are really bonded. I mean, I know that the people that wanted this reading see this together and it flips their lid, like you go crazy. And I get it, I understand, but it's not the connection, that type of connection that you all want. I'm not getting that. I'm not sensing that, okay? I'm sensing, if possible, that one may feel more feelings than the other, if we're gonna go there. I am being a little, yes, because I heard like someone say, why is she being a little cryptic? I'm being a little I'm trying to be a little more sensitive with this one, because it involves, young people, and I don't want to be too all up in anybody's business. Like I said, I don't know them. I'm just picking up energy, and energy shifts within a microsecond. Like someone can think of something, and that's a decision. Thought is action, right? And that alone, a thinking of something, thinking I'm going to do this, thinking, it can shift the energy of a situation. So don't take things so literally. I may say that a few times, because I feel like I'm getting a new viewers on this one. So I want to make sure that you understand. Maybe watch a few of my other readings so you get my style of reading, because it's, yeah, okay. They have a very strong connection. Extremely strong, very even possible that they are soulmates, okay? But we have many soulmates. It's not just the one soulmate. Oh, that's my forever person. That, it doesn't work that way. I feel, in my opinion, I feel we have many soulmates, and they may be soulmates, because there's a very strong bond. I'm seeing it, okay? You may have to explain that for me, Spirit. If they have already connected privately on an intimate level, there's a consequence to that. I'm just throwing that out there. Okay. Tell me here. Hold on. I'm going to grab a different deck. Hold on. Just tell me a little bit more about that. It's possible that they may have, at some point, they may have been lovers. It's possible. I don't feel that. I mean, it's highlighting itself a little bit, just a little bit, but I feel like I'm picking up more on the energy of the fans that want that to happen. This is really weird. This has never really happened. Has it? Well, it's happened a little bit with the Luke and Nicola, but the Luke and Nicola energies are very strong on their own, and so they're capable of sort of blocking off the fandom energies. In my readings anyway, I'm picking up a lot of the fandom energies here that want this couple to be a couple. So it's interesting what's happening here. I'm getting conflicting information. not conflicting information, but like it's going back and forth, right? So y'all are trying to get in on this. It's all right. Or at least the people that believe that that should be happening, or that that has happened. And maybe it has happened. I'm asking for clarification on that, Spirit, on the lover's angle in this, because they do have a strong connection. I feel like one is more dominant than the other, a more mature energy, which is Kit, is what I'm picking up there. And they're very like-minded. They are very interconnected. I feel definitely that they're soulmates. Tell me more about that line there. Okay. You see, I don't know why I'm getting the sense that if they did have an intimate moment, that it was decided that that was not something they were going to do again. I don't know why I get that. I feel that it may have been a line that was crossed. Because honestly, there's this. I kind of want to say that hasn't happened. Maybe one wants it to happen, but one of the two maybe wants it to happen, is what I meant to say there. But there is a duality here. There is what's presented to the external, so what they present to the public, to the fandom, to their community that loves them and is giving them all of the accolades. There's what's presented externally, and then what's experienced internally, which I believe happens to a lot of celebrities. It's actually part of the business, right? You have to present this persona. I am this to you, but I am me to me. The real me is in here, and the persona me is out there for you to see, for you to obsess over, for you to admire and adore and be a fan of. I have to preserve this part of me inside. Okay, so sorry. Joe comes across as very nurturing, but Kit is also nurturing, but in a different way. Kit is nurturing in a different way. Kit is nurturing in action. What can we do to fix this? He's heavy in his masculine energy. Kit is. Joe is very heavy in his feminine energy. And Joe is more nurturing. He has more feminine qualities, like nurturing, caring. Not that masculines don't do that, but there are differences. More intuitive. And masculine energies are more action oriented. I'm going to fix that. Let's take care of this. Let's think about this. They're more brain, mind energy. Feminine energy is more heart and grounded energy, right? Masculine is fire and air. Feminine is more earth and heart and cups and water. Okay. Yeah. I don't know if I'm helping, but or clarifying that. But there's something that's being disguised here. something's being projected. So if the fans think, oh my gosh, they're totally a couple, that's a projection, right? That's what they're presenting for you. That's a performance. They're putting on a show with the theater mask. They're putting on a show, right? And there's consequences to that, because when truth comes out, perhaps in the future, then there's a huge disappointment with the fandom, and there's consequences to that. We see that again. I'm sorry that I'm bringing up Luke and Nicola a lot, but that's been the majority of the experience that we've had on my channel with a celebrity couple type thing, right? Couple. Is that the fandom almost like turns against them in a way, right? When truths come out, when what they want isn't happening. But you, as fans for Kit and Joe, you can understand that they do have a very strong bond. I don't see them as lovers. I feel that this is a projection for the fans. I mean, they are lovers in that program, right? But I mean, I think, but I think for real life stuff, that's a projection. That maybe the fandom even has sort of created, because you can create energy. You know, we are beings of energy. We create energy. We are immersed in it, right? And so a group of people believing the same thing can create that energy and make that a thing that it almost becomes like an entity. It doesn't necessarily make it happen, though, and you have to understand that. It doesn't make it happen because of, why? Free will of the two individuals involved. Remember, they have their inner me. Their inner, that wall, the mask that they put for the external people that are watching. And then there's the behind the mask, the real situation, which is the one that makes the free will decision. There's inner and outer worlds here. They're both experiencing a lot of duality. I feel that, and then there's this. I don't know their signs, by the way. So, because I have some Zodiac signs that have popped up here, but I don't know what their signs are, nor does it doesn't really matter. But I feel like this is here. This is Joe's energy. Very gentle, very nurturing. Comes across a bit as defensive. Very sentimental. And also in his own gentle way, protective of Kit. They're very protective of each other, I believe. Tell me about this. Tell me about that. I don't want that many cards. I don't want a table full of cards. I'm so sorry. I know, but I don't want that many. It's too many. I want to clarify that, Spirit. What is that about? Where are you going? It feels like there was some kind of issue between them, or maybe there will be. I don't know. Something that requires healing on their part. And I believe it's because they have, there may be some, I still feel like maybe one wanted, I hate saying that, but I just get the vibe that maybe Joe wanted a relationship more behind the scenes than Kit on a personal level. It's just the vibe I'm picking up here, okay? I don't know if that's correct or not. Obviously, I don't know if that's right. And I feel that at some point there required some kind of, through kindness and sympathy, because there's definitely love here. There's love, there's strong connection everywhere. It's showing up everywhere. This is a strong relationship. The kind of thing that, I mean, their heart chakras are connected. I feel like they are soulmates without being in a relationship, which should be almost more desired, right, than a physical relationship, because those can come and go. But this type of bond is unusual. It's unusual. And it's not unusual. It's rare to be able to see it in a public forum, okay? They're not unusual. They happen all the time. It's rare for you to be able to witness it in a public forum, right? So it's a beautiful connection that they have. They're very playful with each other, very carefree. There's been some kind of forgiveness situation, because I feel like maybe it was pressure from, again, that energy affects energy, and it's possible that they are affected by the energy of the fans wanting more, and maybe, that puts ideas in people's heads, and should we explore something, should we try something, and then the realization that no, that's not going to work. Let's just work this out, and then let's realize that that's not going to work. I don't know how else to explain that. It's a beautiful connection that they have. How many times can I say that? Tell me how. Okay. At some point, someone had to apologize or forgive someone. Hey, hold on. Something had to be healed there. And it may have been, maybe they fooled around, and realized, wait, this is going to mess up our friendship. It's going to mess up our relationship. We're not doing this. It's possible. Spirit. Just quick. Just one. Give me one. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was a test. It was a test. Something may have happened between them, physically speaking, and it kind of tested their relationship, and they were like, oh, no, let's not mess this up. We have a really strong connection. We have a beautiful relationship, a beautiful friendship. Let's not mess this up. Let's not try that again. I feel like that may have been the thing that fixed that for them. And there was, a mutual, we're good. We're not doing that again, because that complicates things. Physical connection, intimacy complicates things. It can, or it can complicate things. So it was a test. It was a test of their connection, and immediately they realized, oh no, let's not. At least that's kind of what I'm picking up there. It doesn't mean it happened. I'm just Spirit. How does Kit feel? Well, no, because I'm not done asking my question, and we still have to look at him because he separated himself there. I mean, I separated him, but for some reason, Joe wants his personality looked at a little bit more. So we'll do that. Spirit, I'd like to know how Kit feels about Joe, how he sees Joe, that kind of dynamic, how, just to get a little bit of an idea. Joe, sorry, before I get the response to that, Joe seems, like I said, he seems more vulnerable with his identity because of his identity, his inner identity, right? And he's trying to figure all of that out. So, yeah, okay. Kit sees Joe almost like his brother, which is kind of weird if they did have an intimate. Let's not go there, but you know what I mean. That had that kind of a connection. That's how he sees him. It's, you know, he can have conversations with him. He can express himself with him. He's part of a soul tribe. He may not speak that way. Like, I don't know if people speak that way on a regular basis. Like, yeah, you're my soul tribe. I don't know. Maybe now, because we know more about that type of information, maybe people do speak about that amongst themselves. But he was destined to come into his life. Joe was destined to come into Kit's life. He sees him as someone that he can talk to, that he can, you know, just interact with, and there's that comfort level there, okay? He's part of his soul tribe. He's part of his journey, his life's journey. I would be surprised if they don't have a lifelong relationship with each other. I'm not saying it can't be romantic. I'm not feeling that. I'm feeling more of a bond, like the type of soul mate that stays with you forever, despite relationship status in your individual lives. It's just that kind of person that even if you don't see each other for a while, actually, when you come back, it's like time didn't even pass. And you can come back to that. It's like this magnet brings you together constantly. You know, from wherever you are, time, distance, doesn't matter. It's that type of connection there, is what I'm seeing. Okay? And it continues to develop. Kit feels that he's been able to develop himself because of the connection that he has with Joe, or because of Joe having come into his life. It's allowed him to develop, to be able to blossom as the person that he's becoming. These are very young people. It's interesting. It's the type of soulmate that you have in your life that teaches you. The relationship that there's the type of soulmate that is in your soul school, right? So that they come to really help you learn a lot. Those types of bonds, they're not, you know, they're hard to identify sometimes in your own life, but sometimes it's easy. Sometimes it's easy to know if you have met that person yet in your life. Sometimes it takes a while to meet that person. That just from a regular conversation, you're constantly learning something. You're constantly thinking and processing something that helps you grow as an individual. That's how Kit feels about having Joe in his life. Is allowing him to come into his purpose. He's teaching him a lot about himself. His creativity is expanding because of his relationship with Joe. They've had some great conversations. Okay, dang. All right. Now, Spirit, how does Joe feel about Kit? How does he see Kit? What is, yeah, same thing, but from Joe's perspective on Kit. He motivates him. You see, that's so interesting, man. He balances him out. Again, that balance, that masculine and feminine energies there is very interesting here. He feels that I'm speaking about Joe, feels that Kit motivates him, and he puts a lot of pressure on him. Kit puts a lot of pressure on Joe to be able to really process things a little bit deeper. They're part of each other's community. And so because I feel like Joe, again, there's a struggle there. There's been some struggle working out, trying to reconcile, who am I? And I did catch an interview where he came out, he was younger, but it's still a work in progress when it comes to the identity thing. And he goes back and forth perhaps with insecurities about things. I feel that he thinks that Kit allows him to explore that a little bit further, but he gets frustrated too. He frustrates him, he motivates him, he pressures him into really, like, I think Kit in his masculine energy probably is more forceful in terms of if they're trying to work something out, to force Kit, Kit forcing, right, energetically, Joe to, come on, get a different perspective, work this out, right? So again, more action oriented. He sees him as very action oriented, and that can come across as sometimes more demanding, perhaps. It's a challenging relationship for Joe. Because I feel that it's possible that Joe has more feelings than that need to be explored. That's where that struggle is. I feel like Joe, of the two, if one of the two would have feelings, I feel it would be Joe. Again, I don't know this, okay? I'm just picking up what I'm seeing here, okay? Just what I'm seeing here. So that could be challenging for him, and it makes him see Kit in different ways, right? But he relates to him very much. We have the mirror here. The mirror is counterpart energy. So he may feel like, sometimes they conflict with opinions, perhaps. But again, the Kit energy is coming through as more dominating. Yeah. He calls out any kind of not dominating. Dominating is a bad word in this scenario. Maybe more assertive. Kit is more assertive and maybe confrontational with Joe. If they're talking about something and Kit Joe is insecure about a conversation they're having, a topic they're having. I don't know. I'm trying to give an example here. It's not working. Because this isn't my world, and so I'm trying to be understanding, but at the same time, because I'm very crass, and the way I speak, but I'm trying to be more gentle here. Yeah, because if Joe's going through it, Joe's having an insecurity or something, Kit would be like, what the fuck, just, get your shit together. Like, that kind of assertive. It's like, just figure it out and get it done. Don't be wallowing like, oh, Joe seems like a gentle spirit, right? Kit is much more, get it done, do it, make the decision, figure it out. Okay. I hope that helped. Joe still feels like he balances him out because he is that way and he is not that way. He needs that kind of assertiveness in his life. It frustrates him, but he needs it at the same time. So he feels like he's my He's my counterbalance on the scale, right? I'm all the way down here, and when he comes along, it just balances me out. So it's a challenging relationship from Joe's perspective. From Kit's perspective, because he may be more, Kit comes through as more confident. Okay? And so, he's seeing things from a different perspective. I mean, they're different people. I hope this is helpful. I hope that you're enjoying this. Let me look at this and then we're done. This is Joe. Just real quick. I feel like Joe lacks a firm foundation, and I feel that that's what the role that Kit plays in Joe's life is as a foundation, as establishing a foundation for him. I feel like he may ask him for a lot of advice, or maybe just in conversation, it ends up that way, that Kit offers advice or guidance, or, in the assertive manner that he may do it. That brainstorming happens to help Joe kind of break free from that shell that he's in, right? He's emotionally vulnerable. Tell me more about that. Something having to do, that comes from the family dynamics, right? Certainly, that makes sense. He feels like he's gone through, even though his identity, right? His sexual identity, all of that. He's in a time where that is much more accepted than it was certainly 30 years ago. So, where people had to hide and do all sorts of things, he's able to come out and express himself and be more himself. But there still are challenges, I'm quite sure. It may come from the family. He may feel like he still can't fully express himself. Like he needs to change the narrative in his life. So there's some vulnerabilities here with Joe. There may be things that he's wanted to pursue and he's not been able to, even in his young life. You can have broken dreams at a young age if you feel that you haven't been able to pursue something. Here, anything else? I saw something flip there. Hold on. Okay. There's that balance again. Temperance twice here. He really, Joe comes through as someone who needs a lot more. I mean, he's just processing his inner world, right? He processes. He needs a firmer foundation for himself. I feel like he feels like he's not able to really fully communicate what he has within. That may be his own inner stuff, right? Regarding identity, he's a bit defensive, I feel. Maybe even though his family seems to have accepted him, he may feel that there's still unspoken damn, like he's going through some stuff. I didn't get that. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm talking about, that mask, right? You never know what someone's going through. We put a mask on for many different scenarios. We're constantly putting masks on. We only take it off when we are in our sanctuary, in our safety net. And even then, some people can't take it off. It's quite a struggle putting the masks on that we do. He's just trying to get different perspectives. This is Joe. He has some inner stuff that he has to work through, and it regards his identity. It regards feeling that he's not being accepted, and he just needs to release that. He needs to. He's working on that. It may be a constant need to work on that. He has a vulnerability. So he needs a lot of healing. He needs a lot of gentleness. He needs a lot of, he's just a gentle soul. Some people are like that. And it's hard. It's hard in this hard world. It is. The world can be hard for people like that, where you're constantly emotionally vulnerable. And that can affect his creativity, by the way. He needs to really do some inner work, because it will block him creatively, and he will lose projects and good opportunities if all he ever is vulnerable. He needs to work on that. And that comes with maturity. There's a little bit of immaturity there, like, maybe a little bit of victim mentality as well. But, I see a family that is supportive of him, but maybe he doesn't see it that way fully. Maybe not. I'm not sure. He has support system. He has a family that a family that seems, I feel, is probably protective of him, because they know he's so sensitive. That's one sensitive kid. But he has trust issues. We focused a lot on him, but he's coming through really heavy. Kit feels very solid. Very solid. I feel Joe needs a little bit more work. He needs a little bit more healing, a little bit more inner work. He needs to dive deeper there to figure out what his purpose is. He's not comfortable with the masks. So a lot of his, I don't even know this person, but I'm getting so much information from him. I feel that Joe, I was thinking about Joe, has difficulties wearing masks. And so he has difficulties concealing the things that need to be concealed. So his vulnerability is a little bit more exposed. And that is tough, because you need to be able to protect, not about hiding, right? The masks aren't necessarily a healthy method of handling life. It's what we do because it's easier to do it with the masks. But really, you have to grow into your comfort zone where you don't have to wear a mask. You can show yourself without exposing yourself. There's different ways of doing that. I feel that he's not even close to being there. But he's not comfortable wearing masks either. He's inexperienced with the mask. Because I feel like he feels like I had to take my masks off to be able to show who I am, to be accepted as I am. So he's struggling with that. There's some struggle with that. I feel that Kit provides a lot of guidance for him, but I feel like Kit doesn't fully understand that part of Joe's life. And that's okay. He will have other people in his life that can hopefully help him figure these things out as he matures. He feels like a young soul. You know what I mean? I don't know how to end this reading. Yeah, I don't really know that there's much else to say. I think that's it. Spirit, I don't know, anything else for their relationship Any one last sort of thing about their relationship? No, we're not doing all that. Nope. Oh, that's beautiful. They really have a little bit of it's kind of like an ethereal type connection, right? I don't know what that means in their life. This miracles card is just a beautiful energy. It's about seeing the signs in your life, following through, believing that the signs are meant for you. And I mean, again, I don't know how to interpret it for this reading. It may be that I feel it really is. Here, give me one more. I'm trying to tie it together for their relationship, Spirit. So I'm not understanding it fully. Abundance. It's a prosperous friendship. I keep calling. Oh, I had another one there. There's enjoying the fruits of their labor, seeing the signs. It's possible that maybe they have their own in the project. I don't know if they're doing more than one, but it's worked well. The coming together for them has been abundant, and it's brought in a prosperity and a lot of like plentiful, energetic work. What am I trying to say? I don't know what the hell I'm trying to say. I'm stuck. Well, okay. This is a message for the fans, actually. This one. It's that don't make assumptions. Don't make assumptions about what you're looking at. Okay? There's always stuff that's hidden. There's always things that are. This is actually a message for the collective watching. This one. Look at the signs around you, right? Focus, connect with your faith. Make sure that you're grounding yourselves. Make sure that you believe in magic. This is a message. So their reading is done. This is a message for the collective. Believe. You have to connect with faith again. If you've lost your faith, reconnect with it. Okay? Look at the details of life. Pay attention to what's going on around you. There's things that are hidden from you. Read between the lines. Understand what's going on around you. You're seeing signs everywhere. The signs are everywhere. You may not be seeing them. Be careful with overindulgence. Everything in moderation. This is damn, okay, this is guidance for all of you. You will see the fruits of your labor at some point. There's many of you that have been working steadily, that have been focusing on your craft or on your passionate, your passions, your purpose. You will be seeing the fruits of your labor soon. Okay, well, I mean, all right. Just pay attention to the things that are happening around you. That's the main message here. We're not paying attention to what's happening. Don't make assumptions about things that you're being told. Look at the details. Look, research. Find out for yourself what it is that's going on, so that you can make a determination as to what is the truth for you in your own life. Life is plentiful, okay? There's plenty things to go around. There's harvest, there's fertility, there's prosperity, there's abundance for everyone. You just have to see the signs within your life so that you can follow those paths. Make sure that you're researching, that you're double checking, that you're trying to inform yourself rather than accepting information that's being given. All right, well, we'll take it. That was interesting. All right, I hope you enjoyed this reading. It was a little cuckoo, but I hope that for those of you that requested it, I hope you're satisfied. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it. Thank you so much. My soul embraces yours. Till next time, stay blessed. Bye-bye.